everyone, my name is Tiffany and this is my channel, Who's Your Handmade. Thank you so much for stopping by today. In today's video, we are taking a look back at my 2023 makes, hits, misses, and a little award ceremony. If that sounds interesting to you, stick around. If you are new to my channel, welcome. Thank you so much for stopping by. I hope that you will consider subscribing. I would love to get to know you better and welcome you into the sewing community. Thank you so much to each one of my friends who are tuning in again today. Thank you for taking time out of your day to spend a little bit of it with me. It means so much to me. Give this video a thumbs up and leave a comment down below. I would love to hear about your 2023 makes. How many did you get accomplished? What was your favorites? What was your not so favorites? I would love to know down below in the comment section. I love chatting with you all. Let me know down below. So we are reviewing some of my 2023 makes in this video. I have had a really fun time looking back over my year, reviewing what I made and seeing a little bit of a theme, which we're going to talk about here in a second. But before we get into the big review, let me just give a little plug here again this year for how I was able to do all of this research quickly, very efficiently, and look back on my year of my makes and get all of these statistics from what I made. I love using a sewing journal. If you followed along with my journey from last year, at the beginning of last year, I talked about this journal so much because it is so amazing to start your year off fresh with a sewing journal and keeping track of all of your makes. So if you've never used a sewing journal before, let me just show you a couple of my entries. So I use this journal to keep track of a lot of information from my makes. I obviously add a swatch. I add when I started the project, when I finished the project, how much yardage it's taking, seam allowance, and then I'll write myself notes of what adjustments I made to the pattern, what I would like to do next time. Down here, it gives a rating system where you can rate the pattern if you liked it or if you didn't like it in the difficulty level. And I've even started adding, let me see if I can find one. I've even started adding where my fabric is from, what this fabric was from, in case that I forget. And as you can see, some of these do not have any information in them because I did nothing new. This is the Grow With Me pajamas. I've made it a million times for my little girl, so I had nothing new to add, and that's okay. So if you want to just keep track of swatches, your beginning and ending date, how much yardage you used, that is perfectly fine. Make this journal work for you. Now, you don't need a specific sewing journal like mine. You don't have to order one of these off of Amazon. And actually, I'm not sure you can get this exact one anymore. I think we might have sold them out of them, you guys. So I know a lot of you at the beginning of last year picked up one of these, and I think we might have sold them out of these, but I will link down below a similar one. I have this black one that I haven't used at all yet. So it's a very similar journal, and I can probably link that one. But like I said, you don't need a specific journal like this. You could start a notebook. You could just get a plain notebook and start writing down things about your make to keep track of them. The important thing is to track them. Track your makes through the year, and then at the end of the year, come December 31st or whenever you decide to sit down and review your year, it's going to be so amazing to have this right at your fingertips, all of your makes, all of the information right here, and it's going to be so easy to review your year. So that's my shameless plug for a sewing journal. Give it a try. You will not regret keeping track of your makes this year. It will help you start fresh and review your year. Okay, let's jump into my 2023 make statistics. Now, I'm not going to go over every single make with you. There are 102 this year, you guys. 102 makes, which is amazing. I'm so happy with that number. So that's a lot of makes to go over with you. What I'm going to do is hand out some awards for my most used pattern, most loved pattern. We'll go over those in a second. And I'm also going to give you my top 8. Now, last year year I did a really fun comparison video. It was a two-part video. I'll link it down below for you. I did a video on what I loved from my makes of 2022 and what I didn't love. But this year for 2023, I couldn't really do that video very easily because there are only 2 makes out of 102 that I really could say that I did not care for and would have landed on the I didn't love list. So I didn't go that route this year, and what I'm gonna do is go through my top 8 with you, and I'm gonna hand out some awards for those patterns or makes that made an impact on my year. I had a lot of crazy things going on this year. If you've been following along with my journey, you know that we've moved twice. We moved out of our old house and into our camper, and then from the camper into our new home. We built a new home this year. A lot of crazy things have been going on in our lives, but my sewing was my oasis. It was my happy time, and I am so excited to be now in my new sewing room. So a lot of wonderful things happened, a lot of crazy things happened, but let me give you some statistics from those 102 makes. So from the 102 makes, here are the totals for what I made myself, what I made my little girl, Addie, she's 3 years old and I love sewing for her, what I made my husband, and then the 4th category is what I made for others. And that could have been Project Dress a Girl, that could have been my relatives like my mom or my sister, and that could have been Christmas gifts. So those totals are, for myself, I made 30 items out of the 102. For Addie, I made 31. She won by 1, you guys. For Josh, I made 6 items. I've got to do better for him in 2024. And for others, they are the winners. I sewed 35 items total for others last year. So out of those 102 makes, how many were garments? Like I said, I made some Christmas items. I made some non-garment items. Out of the 102, 76 were garments. And I divided those up between knit and woven garments. And why I did that was because last year, with all its craziness, I did a lot of comfort sewing. I did a lot of sewing that made me happy, that I was comfortable with, that didn't push me too much. I wanted to see how that affected my knits versus my woven game. And you'll see here with the numbers that it did affect it. Out of the 76 garments that I made for myself or Addie or others, 53 were knit and the woven number was 23. 30 more garments were knit, you guys. Can you tell where my comfort zone is? These numbers are so helpful in reviewing your year and showing you what you actually sewed and how your year went. I do have some goals, and we're going to share those in another video for 2024. And spoiler alert, pushing myself out of my comfort zone is going to be one of those goals. Okay, let's real quick run through my top 8. I didn't bring any of these garments up here with me today, you guys. I'll show you pictures as we go along. And of course, I will link all of these patterns down below in the description box if you want to go check them out for yourself. I've talked about all of these on my channel, probably through Friday Sews videos or a separate video, especially for the pattern. So you can go back through my video list if you want more information about these makes. I haven't listed these from like number 1 to number 8. They're all very important to me. I love them all, but I went through chronologically from January through December, and these are my top 8. Let's get into them. My first favorite make is from January. This is the Itch to Stitch Quebec skirt. I love this skirt. I made a size 28 from some stretch denim from Joann's. Loved this make, and this one started my year off with a feeling of accomplishment. It had a lot of top stitching. It was kind of more technical, and I was really, really happy with this garment and with the fit. The second make is also from January. This is the Friday Pattern Company Sagebrush top. I loved making this one. I made a size extra, extra large. I did a little fitting adjustment, so if you want to refer back to January's videos about the sagebrush top, you can see what my adjustments were. I used a viscose fabric from Hobby Lobby for this shirt, And let me just say that this viscose is so good. This is probably one of the most beautiful fabrics that I have ever picked up from Hobby Lobby. I wish I had more of it in my stash. It's absolutely beautiful, and I think these colors go really well with my coloring. My third favorite make is from February. This is the Love Notions Laundry Day Tee dress. I used that dress version for a nightgown for myself. I used some really cute sewing themed jersey from University of Sewing in Bloomington, Indiana. I made the size 3X and made myself a really comfy nightgown that I absolutely love to wear. My fourth favorite pattern from this year, I discovered in February, but I've actually made so many versions of this one throughout the year this year. I'm talking about the Peekaboo Patterns Dakota Dolman dress for my little girl Addie. I love this dress. It's free. If you want to learn more information about this, you can go back to my videos. I talk about it so much. I started out making the size 2T for Addie. I've sized up since then. We're doing a little bit more adjustments with the length for her. Love this pattern, so much fun, very, very easy. For this first version of the Dakota Dolman, I used cotton jersey from Joann's. I have made so many versions, like I said, over the course of this year, and this pattern is a definite TNT for me, for my little girl. Fifth favorite pattern comes in the month of March. This is McCall's 8340. I made View B. If you guys recall, this dress was for my kind of fancy anniversary date with my hubby. We had our 5th anniversary in March, and I wanted to make a special occasion dress, and boy, did this dress turn out amazing. I felt like $1 million. I felt gorgeous. It was a wonderful make, and it was just the icing on the cake for the special occasion that my husband and I were celebrating. I made the size 28W in this dress, and I used a luxurious ITY knit that was in my stash. I had purchased it from Fabric Mart Fabrics a long time ago, and I was able to use that for this dress, and I absolutely adored this make. My sixth favorite make from the year is coming from the month of June. This is the Ellie & Mac staycation dress. There is no secret that I love this dress so much. I have actually made 4 of them this year for myself, and this is my favorite version. This one was using a rib knit, a dotted rib knit from Olga's Closet. I purchased it quite a while ago and pulled it out of my stash to make this beautiful version of my staycation dress. I make a size 2X in all of my staycations, and I love the hacked flutter sleeve that I do for the sleeve on this one. Beautiful dress. I love the length of this one. I've nailed it with the length. That's my perfect length. So this one was definitely my favorite of the year. Number 7 also comes from the month of June. Now this was a collaboration with my dear friend Agatha from In Agatha's Cottage. We did the Love Notions Rhapsody blouse, and I fell in love with this pattern. It is so, so good. I did a whole review on it on my channel if you want more information about the Rhapsody blouse. I know that a lot of people love this pattern, and they are all 100% accurate. It is a great pattern, and I loved both of my versions. I made the size 2X with the full bust option, and I used 2 separate fabrics from my stash that I've had in there for a while. They're both rayon, and one is from Fabric Mart Fabrics, and the other is actually from Minerva, my first Minerva make. So that was really fun to do that collaboration with my dear friend Agatha, and also discover that the Love Notions Rhapsody blouse is an amazing pattern. And then my last favorite make from 2023 is this Simplicity pattern that I discovered in October. This is the S9240, and I have talked about it so much here in the fall. It's my pattern for fall. If there was one for fall 2023, this would be the pattern. I love this sweater. I made View A of this pattern, sized extra large. My first version there in October was using some ribbed sweater knit from a Walmart bundle, and I absolutely loved how it's turned out. I have went on to make more of them, but this first October version will always have a very special place in my heart because I discovered what an amazing pattern this is. And that's my top 8 for 2023. Let's get into the awards. I have 5 awards to hand out. These are for patterns or makes that really stood out to me in the year. Again, I used my sewing journal to get a lot of this information and find these statistics. So the first award we're giving away is for the most repeated pattern of 2023. The technical winner for this award is the pillowcase dress that I used on repeat for my project Dress-A-Girl dresses that I made in September and October. I made a total of 11 project Dress-A-Girl dresses, but I'm not going to count those. I'm going to set those aside. They're the technical winner, but the actual award I'm giving is going to be for sewing for myself or for my little girl. So we had a 3-way tie. I repeated these 3 patterns 5 times each, you guys. So 15 makes overall for this 3-way tie. So the most repeated pattern award goes to the Dakota Dolman dress that I sewed for Addie. Like I said, I sewed it so much this year. I made it 5 times. I made the Ellie and Matt Grow With Me pajamas 5 times for Addie. And I made the Simplicity 9240 that I was just talking about 5 times this year, 2 for myself and 3 for others in my family. I'm actually wearing one right now. It's hard to find me when I'm not wearing one. Actually, they are so comfortable and I love them so much. The next award is for the make that I am most proud of. I did a lot of thinking about what was the most technical for me or what I put a lot of thought and design into. And it was really a no-brainer for me to come up with Addie's Christmas Eve dress. This is the Little Lizard King Lund, a really great pattern from Little Lizard King. I had a vision in my mind of what I wanted for her Christmas Eve dress, and this pattern made it happen with a little bit of adjustments from me putting in a lined skirt and a underskirt of tulle. I love this make. I am so proud of what I was able to accomplish for my little girl, even in the crunch of Christmas time. So this one is definitely my proudest make. This next award is for my least favorite patterns of the year. And like I said, there was only 2. So 2 out of 102 is really good, you guys. Really, really good. So the first pattern that I really did not like in 2023 was this Simplicity one. This is Simplicity 9385. I know it's a popular one, but this one just did not work for me. I did so many pattern adjustments on it. I have a lot of videos actually ranting about it. So if it works for you, I am so glad, but this pattern is going in the trash for me. I really do not like it. I will likely never attempt this one again. The other pattern that I did not like in 2023 was a real bummer for me because I love this dress. I love the look of it, but it just did not work on my body type. I'm talking about the Waves and Wild Kinjarling dress. I had a lot of expectations for this dress. Like I said, I love the pattern. I love the look of the dress, but a dolman just does not work on my body type. And where the skirt hit me and in those gathers just made me look much larger than I actually am. So this was the other disappointing make from 2023. But like I said, 2 out of 102. It's not bad. The next award goes to my favorite new to me pattern. So last year, like I said, was a lot of comfort sewing, but I did branch out a little bit and try some new to me patterns. And this one is my favorite. Again, I'm going to talk about it again, that S9240, what I'm wearing. I tried this one as just a fluke. It's one of those patterns that you might pass by and not really give much of a chance, but it's so, so good. So I'm here to put that pattern in front of you and suggest it and recommend it. I love the S9240 pattern. And then the last award is for my favorite non-garment make of the year. I love making garments. It's what brings me the most joy, but I also did make several non-garment things this year, and my favorite out of all of them has to be this felt nativity that I picked up from the Stitching Post in Washington, Indiana. It was a big big felt panel when I bought it, and you had to cut out the characters and sew them together, and then you had to make the bag. It was very labor intensive. I'm not saying it was the easiest make, but I was definitely so proud of it, and I loved it so much. And now Addie will have this darling nativity to play with for years to come. We actually used it as an advent for her and told her the Bible story as the Christmas season rolled on, and it was just absolutely perfect. I loved that make. And that's a wrap for my 2023 makes for the year 102. I am very happy with that number, and I hope to do at least that much in 2024. If you want to know what some of my plans are for 2024, subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. Those videos will be coming up soon. Thank you so much for your friendship and for your support through 2023, you guys. I hope you all have a very wonderful new year. I will see you in the next video. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.